Hey guys, Slev here, and today I'd like to do a review on the Zenith, which is a new gun for the Vanu Sovereignty. So let's look at the stats first. They're a little weird, kind of middle of the road rate of fire, average damage, but fairly good hip fire, accuracy, and it's got the .75 ADS move speed, which the Vanu Sovereignty did not have. Now the attachments are a little weird. It's got the 1x sight and 3x, 4x sights, but no 2x sight. Why? The barrel attachments are common, compensator, suppressor, flash, suppressor, and then you've got advanced forward grip and advanced laser, which is a little weird. Camos, of course. No ammo slot, though, which is weird as well, but we'll get into all of that. So, let's jump right in here and see what's going on. So, what I'm going to say is this gun is meant to be a hip-fire close-range weapon. Now, you may have noticed that I'm using the advanced grip, and the reason for that is pretty simple. I don't think it's a very good hip-fire weapon. As you can see based on that kill right there, it takes a lot of hits to kill someone, and the rate of fire is not high enough to really support the damage. So you really do want to use this gun more as kind of a medium close weapon. I think the hip fire is very tight, it's got a very tight spread, and with an advanced laser, I can guarantee you will hit your targets easily. The problem I have is, against any target with a faster firing gun or higher damage gun, which pretty much every single weapon in the game is going to either have higher damage, or it's going to have a higher rate of fire. This gun just will get outmatched. As you can see, it took a lot of hits to take that target down. He did have an overshield, but you can extrapolate. Here's a target that didn't have an overshield, still took a lot of hits, and I am not accurate. As you could tell by that spray and pray there, not accurate. But you will chew through a lot of ammo. I would hazard it will take you at least 10 rounds to bring down a target, and that's if you hit pretty much every round. So, I wouldn't recommend the advanced laser sight. Now, if you're planning on using this gun purely for hip fire, then yes, use the advanced laser sight. But medium range, I would recommend the advanced grip. And the reason I recommend the advanced grip is because the hip fire is so tight already, it really doesn't need to be made tighter. This is a similar argument to something like the NS7 PDW, where the hip fire is so good, you can afford to get extended mags instead. So I think the grip is the better choice here because the hip fire is easy enough to control without the laser, and the grip gives you really nice iron sight control. For weapon sight, I would recommend a 2x sight if it existed. As such, I would say use the iron sights. I think the IRNV is a waste of time on this weapon, but I also think the 3x sights are too much. So for now, if you want a sight, get the 1x reflex, but I'm not a fan of using the 1x reflex in this game because they're a little inaccurate, but I'll trade off for a 2x zoom. So the other big thing is there's no ammo type on this weapon, which is a bit of a problem. Because it's got really low bullet velocity, one of the lowest in the game, and that's because this is supposed to be a closer range weapon. It doesn't have the damage to match, which is annoying, and it doesn't have the rate of fire to match, so I'm really struggling to see where this weapon's niche is supposed to be. If it had ammo types, both high velocity and soft point, then you could specialize in how you wanted to, but right now, none of those things exist, so it's a question on what this is supposed to be. Like right there, that kill took half the mag, and it was a stationary target that I hit almost every round with, so I would argue that you may want to do ammo belt with this weapon. Now, this actually might be a good weapon for an engineer who can resupply, but as a light assault, I found myself running out of ammo quite a bit. As you can see, I had to switch to pistol a lot, and I'm using the Cerberus because I like a challenge. Back to the gun. It doesn't excel at anything. It seems to be kind of like a jack-of-all-trades weapon, but it's barely even good at those trades. I would argue that there are carbines that exist that are better for whatever you want to do. There's a better long-range carbine for the Vanu already. There's better close-range carbines. The Serpent or the VX-6-7 will totally outperform this carbine close-up. and the Pulsar C, the default weapon for the, I believe it's the Pulsar C. If I'm wrong, someone correct me in comments. The default Vanu carbine will work better at medium range, and you get a 2x weapon sight for it. But let's talk about my loadout for this gun. Jesus, something fell. So, my default loadout is the advanced forward grip and a flash suppressor. I picked the flash suppressor because the hipfire is tight enough that I can afford to hurt it a little bit, and I don't want a silencer because I'm liking using this weapon for range, but I think the flash suppressor is very good for hiding yourself. As you can see, really slow time to kill on targets. It's just not a great carbine, and I have a huge problem with how it performs. So I like the advanced forward grip because I like this weapon at medium range, and I think it's got great controllability with the advanced forward grip. But overall, I would rate this weapon relatively poorly, sadly enough. I just don't think it's got the stats to back up its niche. I don't think it has a niche, and I think you'd be better served with other carbines. So I would say save your search, save your station cash, and get something better. I think this weapon is one of those guns that will need a quality of life adjustment eventually, but for now, it's a good challenge if you want to challenge yourself. So that's all I have. If you want more videos, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Stygis, S-T-Y-G-I-I-S. You can add me in-game as Slev on Waterson VS. And as always, have a nice day.
Vanu is with you. Do not falter. Rise to the moment you can prevail.
spotted a hostile medic.